Hi guys, let me see if I can hold the camera with the good hand. And let's see how, maybe if I set it on my knees. That might be a little better. So I just wanted to come out here, do a quick update. I know I said in September I was going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday vlogs. Where's the camera down here? So I knew I said I was going to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday vlogs. But unfortunately, I didn't know that we were getting that huge hurricane. So it totally just threw me off my game. Some people can do it. Some people can go through tornadoes, hurricanes, and everything else and keep on vlogging and stay on schedule. I can't. There's a lot of things I need to do to be prepared, to take care of me, to make sure my family's okay. And the last thing on my mind is to think about taking out that camera and filming because I need to focus on all the traffic. I need to focus on the anxiety and the chaos that's beginning to build up when a tornado is coming. A hurricane is coming. Um, so yeah, my mind and my focus, I kept trying to vlog, but the parking lots were crazy, the stores were crazy, the roads were crazy, and I had to be present. I had to pay attention to what I was dealing with. And then the anxiety, well, you guys know if you watch the news, you know how long that storm set over, the Carolinas. So yeah, it was a busy, busy week. Um, I started last week preparing for that storm, and you know that people still are not out of danger. They're still rescuing people even today because some of the rivers are not going to crest until this weekend. So naturally, when you're not affected by it, once it seems to go off the news and the next story comes on, people tend to forget. But there are still people that, as of today, had to be rescued because the rivers are rising. They're cresting, some of them at record-breaking levels, and some of them again are not due to crest until later this weekend. So that's a long time. The good thing is we're not due to get any rain, I think, until this weekend. And it's only a 30% chance, and it's just, a little bit. Even if we get it, it's just a little bit. So yeah, it was quite challenging. Um, my son, my granddaughter came to ride it out with me, which I was thankful for a couple different reasons. Because one, we never know what's going to happen when they're saying a storm that big is headed towards us. And two, um, they're surrounded by a lot of trees. And so that was my concern. So I felt really good that they came here. And I didn't even have to ask them to come. Typically, if there's a snowstorm or a hurricane, I ask them to, you know, find someplace safe. And they usually try to ride it out at home. And then I sit in my place worried sick. And this time they just showed up. Oh, I didn't have an issue with it. Um, but anyways, I'm still tired from it all. It was exhausting. It was exhausting having them here, even though I enjoyed having them here. It's it's only exhausting because when you're used to being by yourself all the time, you can rest when you want to. You don't talk as much. Um, and so with them here, naturally, if they're here, I want to enjoy them being here. So I don't want to just lay down and rest the whole time they're here. So I'm really tired. Yesterday, my granddaughter and I decided to have because they were out of school again, and um, we decided to have like a cooking contest, a pastry making contest. So that took a lot of energy. And then I decided to get up and go to my dance class this morning. And I didn't think I would dance much. I thought, if I need to sit down, but I ended up dancing. And then naturally, I've got to play cleanup. I've had people in my home. My granddaughter's 14. When she eats, she's not like her grandmother. She doesn't clean up every drop of rice when it spills. That's me that does that. So, I've got to make sure that I I do clean up now, because I started getting all these fire ants and these little red ants in my apartment. Um, and I didn't know where they were coming from. I thought maybe my son brought them in. I'm like, "Do you guys have ants at your place? Where are all these ants coming from?" And I know sometimes I see some out by my door, but like all these ants started coming in, and I like took the rug by the door and stuck it in the washer. My son shook it out. We stuck it in the washer, put it down. Again, they showed up. I'm like, "What in the world?" So I saw one in the living room today, so I'm really trying to be careful to make sure that they don't make it throughout my apartment, or especially in my kitchen. So, so yeah, that's what's been going on. Anyways, I'm really hot. I'm really tired. It's been so hot, so humid. I keep wanting to say tornado. I thought the hurricane would bring a cool down. It cooled down just briefly the other night, just briefly. And I mean, when I say briefly, I mean I was still like in shoulderless um, tops and still like okay. Like it wasn't even a cool down where I was like, "Whoa, maybe I should put a little sweater on or sleeves on." It was something else. Guys, that was a storm like nothing I've ever seen before. And I was blessed today it's just been on my mind. Every time I watch the news, it's on my mind. And I'm like, there are so many people. Like they brought some of the evacuees to my area. There are just so many people right now, just still suffering and struggling. And, some people have lost people. And you're talking 3 states, deaths in 3 states. And the deaths in Virginia why can't I say death? The deaths in Virginia were due to the pop-up tornadoes. You know, it's something else. Them storms, I keep saying you can't do anything but respect a hurricane, respect a flood, get out of the way, stay out of the way as much as possible. And that's all you can do. But listen, I'm going to go because I'm really tired. I think you guys can tell. My arm is hurting holding this camera. My arm is really getting bad, guys. I have to see a surgeon. So I go to see the surgeon next month. And I hope they can do something other than surgery, because I don't want surgery. But I mean, you guys know, if you follow my vlogs, I was in physical therapy for dang near a year, you know. So now, yeah, I have to see a surgeon next month. So again, I'm hot, I'm tired, and I didn't eat right, so I'm not feeling all that great. So I'm going to go ahead and say good night. Sorry, I'm off my game. I can't even say that there'll be a vlog out this week because I'm playing catch up from last week. Maybe I'll try to do a few live videos, but I've got a busy week, lots to do. Oh, I'm sorry, my son. My son sent a text. I sent him a text telling him about the fire ants. So he just sent me a text back saying I didn't hear that. But it's been on the news that fire ants were building big mounds, in the water. So anyways, before I keep talking and talking and talking, I'm at almost 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight. Thanks for hanging in there with me. And like I said, I'll try to pop in there and do some live videos. A lot easier than doing an edited one. I hope everybody stayed safe. If you were in the path of Hurricane Florence, I hope you stayed safe and that you have power, didn't lose anything, and didn't have to evacuate your home. And I'll talk to you guys later.